Welcome to the Afia Morning Show. Once again, 12 days of Christmas special, and the festive season is already upon us. Yuletide is finally here. And to that effect, the Enugu Police has issued guidelines for personal safety and security ahead of your travels and enjoyment and merriment. To emphasize on these guidelines and tell us a little bit more about what we should know ahead of this season is the Enugu Command Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Daniel Ndukwe. Thank you, DSP Daniel.
Thank you for having me, and good morning to our viewers
Merry
out there.
Christmas in advance.
I wish you the best of the season, Christmas and everything.
Compliments.
Thanks.
So it's been a long year, and it's great that we've all made it to this point. So, there were lots of guidelines issued, especially ways that people can protect themselves. But before we get into the intricacies of those, could you help, summarize some of those guidelines for the sake of people that are just hearing about it for the first time here?
All right, we issued a few guidelines, and then all of that dwells on personal security and safety. About 6 of them, but inside of those 6, you have sub-issues that you need to really be mindful of, particularly this season. It's a season where everybody, as always, want to have fun. People want to travel. People want to buy so many things. People want to spend so much money. People will travel. Some will travel in their own personal vehicles. Others will travel in public means of transportation. From one point to the other, far and wide, people will gather to celebrate, no matter what the economy says. Especially in this part of the world, people will come back to celebrate. And it's something we do not take very lightly. We understand very well that beyond what we could do as an agency saddled with the responsibility of providing public security and safety, we also strongly believe that security begins with the individual. And that being the case, we decided to look at every other aspect based on our experience, our day-to-day tour of duty. We decided to bring out a few of these tips to guide people. Now, the first thing we had to encourage our people to do is to plan. You have to just plan the season. It's one time you could do so many things, and by the end of it, God willing, nothing happens to you alive. You come back to January, you look back, you're telling yourself, but I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done this. Mistakes could be made. Some of them could affect not just your emotion or your psyche. Mind you, security and safety has to do with even the mental state of a person. Now, if you're not stable, chances are that you're prone to just about anything. So it's important people plan the season like we clearly say. We say plan for the season. And like we say, avoid acting impulsively during the festive season. Plan your activities and make informed decisions in all you do. It's extremely important. You'll be traveling. You'll be going to see people, whether in your village or whatever location you'll be traveling to. You spend money. You drive through the paths, through roads. You meet people. So many things will happen. So don't just go into it like that. You're just basking in the euphoria of the fact that you're having Christmas. Everybody's going to come back. You're going to celebrate. You will do that. We advise you to please sit down. Even if you don't sit down, even if it's contingency plans you make, think about something. Look at all of the things you ought to be doing this season, so that you don't live through this season and then you live through it in regrets. We encourage you to plan it. And after doing that, we also advise you do what we refer to as security advisory. You'll be traveling. Maybe, let's say for those within Enugu State, you may be traveling from possibly the city to hinterlands, from one location to the other. Some persons are coming back to Enugu, some are leaving to other destinations. We ask you to please have an idea of where you're traveling to. Whether you like it or not, things will happen. Things keep happening. In these days where information is at the tip of everybody's finger, you hit the social media, you hit the newsstands here and there, you have an idea what is happening. Probably the part you're going to travel to, or where you're traveling to. As much as possible, try to know what is happening in those places to help you. And we also encourage people to maintain security awareness. What do we mean by that? You just need to be at alert. Don't be so carried away. Don't be thinking it's the path you're used to. Don't be thinking, it's just one free road, we'll move through it and nothing happens. Please, be at alert. And that's the beginning of personal security and safety. When you're not conscious of anything happening around you, you're not conscious of even the part of things you see some things are becoming a little bit, what you saw yesterday, you're not seeing again. What you didn't see yesterday, you're seeing today. You should be worried. Your personal security awareness is very important. Be conscious of everything happening around you. Be at alert. I will always use the word be vigilant. It's very important. And we also are saying prepare for the travel. We talked about planning, generally speaking, but we also urge you to prepare. As you're traveling, what has happened to your vehicle? If you're traveling in your personal vehicle, check it a second time. Are the brakes working? Brake system working? Are the tires in the right shape? Are they properly inflated? The air there, is it what it should be? Because sometimes if you buy a new tire and travel on the road, you have a burst. So you need to be sure of what the vulcanizer is doing. Is it giving you the right measurement of air that should be in that tire? Are the brake systems working? So when you travel, you're sure that you have that covered. If you're traveling through a public means of transportation, we encourage people, please go to a known motor park and enter a known commercial vehicle company. Don't just get on board, what we call in Igbo language, akanelu. Like you just see they wave you, they're on the road. You don't know who these persons could be. They might be genuine, fine. But it's important you're traveling from where you know. So that tomorrow when somebody asks questions, you can say, that was where I traveled from. This vehicle, this number plate, this company, it's easy for anyone to trace where you're traveling. And we also encourage you, that manifest. We have this problem of people not writing their details. We had a situation, I'm going to give you an example here, where there was an accident here in Enugu. Somewhere along Onyama, this Onyama, recurring accident issue there. The bus tore into two. Many people died. Friday, it turned out to be a fire situation. People got burnt beyond recognition. And now the whole thing was, we're falling back to the manifest. We don't pray anything happens to you. No, nothing will happen. But we encourage you, as much as possible, put accurate information there. Who your next of kin is, the person's phone number, let it be there. Your blood group, whatever they ask you, please put it there. It doesn't mean you will die. God forbid. It only means, should peradventure something happen, somebody can lay hand on something and say, okay, this is what we can do. And we're also encouraging people as much as possible, don't travel at night times. Whether it's because of your security per se, let's say maybe armed robbers, God forbid, will block you on the way. We're also looking at even the path you're driving. Let's say you're driving, there's no way the clarity you have during daytime is never the same thing you have at night time. There could be bumps on the road, there could be potholes. Some are traveling to destinations they've not been for a while. If you come to Enugu now, some roads are being worked, are being repaired. Your knowledge of what those roads were may not exactly be the same thing. You could jump into a pothole and it could result in an accident. Okay. Something fatal. So we encourage our people, please don't do that. And very importantly, protect your personal information. Our people are good these days, with all due respect to what you might want to think. We live our lives on the social media. We are too much of netizens these days. You want to put just about everything on the social media. You're telling somebody point A, point B. Some will even take picture from where they're taking off, and they're telling you, I'm taking off, or this moment I'm here. God forbid somebody is already planning for you, like there was a village people, they are preparing for you already. So the person have in mind what he or she wants to do. He knows your itinerary. There's nothing you can do. So we urge our people, as much as possible, keep those information to yourself. Or you share it with a trusted person. It's very important. We also talked about your home security as you're traveling. Lock your house very well.
Now, just to come in there was a part of it that really got me curious. You said, if you're not able to find someone to give your key to, you can give it to a church. Is giving the key to the church safe?
It's not, you cannot completely claim it is safe. You don't live in the world alone. We are saying if you can't find a trusted person, we gave that as an example. Now, the church, plus or minus, however you want to look at it, naturally, you just want to be comfortable with the church. You just want to be, and that's what it should be. That should be the right order. We have instances where probably in the advanced climb, probably there could be a safety or a box where you can save up some of these things. We only use that as an instance. Peradventure, because the idea is this, I would have said travel with your key. We could have said that. But the problem is, let's say you're traveling from Enugu town now. Probably you're traveling to what extreme community, let's also Wani. far off, and something happened in that house where you're living. Let's say there's a fire incident, and you're with your key.
They need to go in and
Somebody might need to go there and manage a free thing, save
yes.
something. So that is why we're saying we gave that as an instance. For instance, the church. It could be a trusted neighbor. You never can. But I've had instances where there's constructive breaking. You give the key to somebody, they quietly. Constructive breaking is when nobody comes, the door was not burgled, nothing. Quietly, the person gained normal access. Open your door, took whatever he wanted to take, and lock it back. It's constructive. So it didn't have to break anywhere. And mind you, this time is when we'll have plenty of house breaking. Burglary and all of that will happen because people will be traveling. If you don't secure your house very well, they believe they are not going to see you. So might want to come and break in. That's why we also even advise, if you have a CCTV available in your house, please let it be active.
Be active at that point.
Your bulbs, your lighting system, as much as possible, let it be there, especially the ones outside. Don't leave this whole room about somebody quickly just knowing that this man is no longer there. If there are certain things, somebody would know that if you're in your house, apparently there's a bulb. Once that bulb is switched on, somebody, a neighbor around there will know that, this person is in the house. We encourage you, leave that little bit of suspense. That's why we said on social media, don't be quick to share everything, because there are people who probably are looking for you to just
Step away.
And before you say Jack, so many stuff that happen.
All right, the Ugogo Nike Opio Nsuka Road. Oji, I think I'd like you to quickly take that. The level of insecurity there has been a concern.
So regarding people traveling back and forth on Pine Out Road, what's avenue the security agencies have made to contain and ensure that people are safe on that road, because it's a mayhem. It's very notorious.
And there are so many checkpoints. Yes, people still complain about it.
Okay, we've had, like you said, people complain. Yeah, I don't think, with all due respect, the way we look at things may not be exactly how those of us who do this job day to day want to look at it. If I know of a place that is totally bad, I know. There are places you can't even enter. But glory be to God, in Enugu State, we don't really have such locations here. But I know places you can't. Thinking of even going to that place, flying any road leading to that place is one dangerous task to embark on. Ugogo Pinsoka Road, I would tell you that recently we've not had, whether by way of rumor or whatsoever, happening on that road as per adoption, which most time will turn into snowball into kidnapping. We've not had it. You made mention of that road having as many as possible checkpoints. We just needed to dominate that road. First, we normally will police the human-dominated spaces. If we have to polish the bushes, the forests, then that will happen thereafter. We first are interested in this part that everybody takes through. I personally traveled there on Saturday. I drove myself throughout that road. I was coming back a little. I think except you don't want to be fair to the police and other security forces in Enugu State, that the level of security on that road is not such that you want to do anything. But it's not to leave anything to chance, because if you're here, you cannot be everywhere at the same time. That's the more reason we keep even calling our people. We need your support, especially the community people owning some of those locations. If there's some movement you've observed there, let us know. People can come like, no, there's no way somebody that is a foreigner steps in, because nobody starts from inside of the bush. They don't live there. They will come there, start whatever they will start, and then thereafter, after perpetrating, still find their way out of the bush. So we encourage our people, let's be positive. But as per that route, not just that route. After now, I will be putting out a press release as per the Christmas and the directive of the Commissioner of Police, to ensure that all area commanders, divisional police officers, head of tactical teams and tactical and operational teams dominate their jurisdiction. It's not just about Opin. So every other road deserve the same attention.
All right. Now,
So
quickly, before we let you go, because we have just 1 minute, the ban on fireworks. People have said, is it legal? Can the police ban fireworks? I've still been hearing fireworks in Enugu. By the way, I think I was woken by fireworks at 5 a.m.
It's a little difficult to think you will stop it. There are people, someone even told me on X that, you don't buy and keep. Make I just be ready to come arrest them. He was even showing me picture. I don't know, X is where you have so many social media platforms where you have people from different places. The idea is a very simple one. When we talk about, I'm giving this instance, it's an unfortunate one. exactly today, 1 year today is 24th, a traditional ruler in Enugu State was murdered in his house. And let me tell you what happened. The people came, the children went straight into his room. Although we were able to arrest them, they were taken to court and remanded. They are suffering their actions there. The children felt what they were hearing was banger, knockouts. So they didn't know these were people coming to perpetrate such a heinous crime.
But is it legal, the ban?
Yes, it's the Commissioner. There's Public Order Act. There's a National Forest Reserve. I'm going to check it out and send to you.
All right.
I can't give you the Prohibition Act, where even said if you must even use that, you must get an approval. If you don't get an approval, let whatsoever that could cause fire be removed from the fireworks you're using.
All right.
So whatsoever the Commissioner of Police or the Governor or the State Governor or the ID decide feels very well that this is to help us in public security and safety of our given location, such things can come. We don't want to stop you from enjoying and celebrating Christmas. We believe there are so many other ways you can do that. They mustn't be using bangers. I mean, kill chicken, eat chicken, chop rice.
All right, now before we go, would you quickly just reel out the police command emergency numbers? Because that's also very important. We learned that there are some new numbers listed.
Yes, thank you so very much. We have the emergency numbers. Quickly 080-3200-3702. We also have 080-866-71202, 080-988-0172. Then the ones you're talking about is for the company response unit. In case any policeman misbehaves on the road, please call the company response unit and report such misconduct. Call 091-6000-2486, 0705-9160-602, or 0817-6255-557. And there's something we also said very importantly as part of the tips. Please spend wisely during this season. Avoid unnecessary debt or wasteful spending, so you don't end up, I'm going to say it again, so you don't end up blaming village people or taking to crime. Remember, there's life after the holidays, and January, you and I know, often feels financially longer.
Exactly. So all right. On that note, thank you so much, DSP Daniel, for joining us. Enugu State Command Police Public Relations Officer. We have to draw the curtains very quickly, magically at this moment. Thank you all for being a part of the show. Remember to drop your comments under the stream on YouTube, Afia News, AM Show on Afia News, and let us know what you think is the correct answer. Being your host as always, Nathalie Uku. Merry Christmas.
And I remember, Oji Chiku, have a splendid Christmas. Merry Christmas in advance. Bye for now.